Cancer, the romancer. I think it's pretty late here. So, Cancer, this is going to be your May 2019 Loving Proof reading. I'm Kendrick from Providence Tarot. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, okay? And comment on the video. Also, follow me on Instagram. I'm at NYC Kendrick, Providence Tarot, of course, and Kendrick NYC, as well as the Tongue Pop. So, I'm going to do a love reading for you guys, and it's going to be inside, right within your general reading. But I was putting some cards away from the last reading that I did, which was the weeklies, and I gave a little bit of a surprise element to like the quality of the video. It's like illustrated. Anyway, some cards fell out while I was trying to put that deck away. So while I prepare your decks here, I'm going to read you the cards. Hello, let me lean in so I can see. I hope that you guys can hear me well. So as I was putting those cards away, um, that Mariah Carey song came on in my head. I said, no, 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 right? So you guys are saying no to someone, and you're walking away from something that was like routine for you. It's kind of like smooth sailing away from something that was routine for you that you were committed to, right? Now you're committed to yourself, and you're trying to think about what's best for you and what's going to serve you best, right? So then after this Six of Swords popped out, right, which was one of the cards talking about moving forward, moving on, right, trying to create more harmonies for yourself out of discord, right? Moving on from a dysphoric situation, something that was day to day for you, a situation that you thought about daily, right? That it's like your perspective never really changed about this. Someone may have hung around to see if your perspective may have changed, and your perspective never did change. It's Mercury in Aquarius, so it's like how you think, and you were fixed on those thought processes, and you were doing it for good reason. You know what I mean? Because this is a dignified position for Mercury. Mercury is exalted in Aquarius. Aquarius is a very broad thinker, right? Mercury isn't very much that. Mercury thinks through channels of connecting, through networks, so it can reach far through tiny networks, right? It can go the distance through tiny networks, right? But then Aquarius is going the distance, and it's networking on a very broad sense. So this is kind of like bringing more, it's enhancing Mercury's experience. So this is enhancing, your thought process, and like, just kind of like a sense of encouragement for you. You know what I mean? Your motivation, right? You're not lacking motivation in terms of like how you're committed to yourself, right? It's almost like your motivation was to kind of like make someone else happy, but it was like that you weren't able to make them happy because you weren't able to serve them because you weren't serving over yourself. So now you're committed to serving of yourself, and you're moving forward. And the Chariot energy is here, allowing you to feel that drive, that encouragement, that force within you, right? That is your spirit, because this is a very spiritual card. It's a 7, so it is talking about victory, right? In terms of reconnecting with your spirit, right? And then finding some wisdom within that. You're sort of like regaining this like this innate sense of it's almost like a primal sense of spirituality, like very fresh, very new. It goes back to the seventh house, which is Libra. So it's almost kind of like you're achieving a sense of balance here by going forward and doing what it is that you know intuitively that you should have done already. It really is clear to you, right? Because the seventh house, Libra, wants things to be clear. It wants things to be focused. It wants things to be calibrated. And the Chariot is number 7, and that squares the house of Cancer, which the Chariot rules, right? This is Cancer energy. And with the 7 being the Chariot, is talking about being victorious in your sense of self and your confidence. Yes, Mercury and Aquarius. But yeah, absolutely. It's saying that you need to think about how confident you are and the belief in yourself, understanding that there is something that you reveal to yourself when you allow when you allow yourself to be tested, right? It's like you're being tested, and there are certain decisions that come out of being tested, right? How you react to being tested. What do? How dignified are you there? How much of a leader are you in your own life, in your own right? Being a leader in your own evolution, choosing to evolve yourself, right? Being paving the way for yourself because you've chosen to do so because you are committed to your experience and enhancing it in a spiritual way. Because if you don't devote yourself to you, then you definitely won't be getting the most out of this 3D experience, and you definitely sure as hell won't be getting the most out of your spiritual experience, right? While you're in 3D. But this is saying that you are moving forward from something, and it could be a relationship because you guys were just kind of like too black and white. It was like yin, yang. There was no mixing, there was no blending of anything. So you realize, like, there's nothing here for me to kind of like compromise with, no contractual agreement. There's nothing here, so I'm gonna move forward because the King of Cups is in reverse. So this could be talking about a lover. This could be talking about somebody that you were involved in a relationship with, or somebody that you love, somebody that you were devoted to because maybe you had an obsession towards your desire for them because you had such a deep connection to them, or just to them, their person. It could have been like the sexuality aspect of them, or it could have even just been like they were a very in-depth person. You know what I mean? And Aquarius really does go well with that Scorpio energy because they're both fixed. You know what I mean? In that sense, so but then at the same time they're fixed, so they're squaring each other too. You know what I mean? So there's some things that they identify with individually as their archetype, right? Expressed through them. But then there's some things that are really not working because they're both kind of like set in the way that they do things. It's like a flavor, right? They don't want to change that flavor of who they are, right? And I feel like neither one of you wanted to do that, so you decided to leave this person, or you're deciding to like discount this person's perspective right now, and you're just kind of like going away temporarily, and you might eventually like come back for something. But then the Seven of Wands is down here at the bottom of the deck too, because I had to look at that because these cards just fell out. And this is talking about you know, also keeping the course, staying the course, right? Not giving up on yourself because, you've gone so far. It's almost like I was telling someone the other day, oh my God, you're totally employing seriously went through a spiritual experience with someone. It's kind of like when you've gone 70% of the way and there's only 30 more percent of the way to go, don't turn around and go 70 more percent, 70% ways of the way backwards, because then you just added 40% of the distance onto you know giving up. You know what I mean? So not only did you give up, but then you made it even more challenging for yourself. You paid more. You know what I mean? It's like you pay interest when you gave up. You know what I mean? So when you give up, that means that you kind of like you did all of that work for nothing. So don't let the emotions of this experience, and don't let this the way that you are responding to it, because the sevens talk about how you react to something that occurs, right? And it's your own, it's like your choice, right? You choose how you emotionally respond and react to certain situations that are affecting you. Yes, focusing on your career. 24 hours a day. Well, when somebody needs validation, or even sometimes when we need validation 24 hours a day, sometimes you have to validate yourself to yourself, right? And not for somebody else. Um, for sure. So that's Mars and Leo. So there's some issues here, or there's some relatability. You're relating to your ego, right? And it's a mature sense of ego, or a positive sense of ego, right? Because sometimes you have to have an ego. You have to have somewhat of an ego to even know that you want to do anything. You know what I mean? Especially if it doesn't involve anyone else, right? So this seven is here, but these are individuals within this seven experience. So it could be a relationship, but then because it's the individual in the card that represents the seven, it's like the individual and how they relate to their experience, right? How committed are you to relating to your experience? How committed are you to revealing things to yourself and not having other people tell you what it is that you are, should be, can be, will be, are, you know what I mean? That type of thing. It really is up to you. So commit to yourself and be really focused on doing that. You know what I mean? All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put these away. So some of you guys are giving up on somebody, right? Or you're releasing, you're trying to, if you're not giving up on somebody, you're giving up on a need to control a situation, right? You know, because when you try to control a situation, then wow, look at all these. When you try to control a situation, right? And you don't make the best of it, you don't see all of the different options, then you might be actually giving up on something that you could be receiving that would be great. You know what I mean? But if you guys are leaving somebody, or you're leaving a situation that you felt like wasn't in your best interest because you guys desire different things, then this is saying you are going to think about yourself. Look at this. This is the Emperor, right? This is number 4 major arcana, which represents Aries. Okay, exoterically. This is the Magician, which is Mercury. Mercury rules Aries esoterically. This is an ace. The aces are ruled by the magicians. The aces represent the first sign of the zodiac, which is Aries. But they also represent the first major arcana card, which is Mercury, which is the esoteric ruler of Aries. Okay? So really, you guys are making some initiations. You guys are moving forward. You guys are the action to, you know, the action to spawn to prompt the reaction. You know what I mean? So really, you are making the choice to commit to yourself, and other people are going to react to that. Okay, so let me go ahead and put these cards away here, because these aren't even the ones that I was supposed to be using. I was supposed to be shuffling these while I was talking to you guys. So now I'm going to talk to you while I'm shuffling about that. So I'm a Cancer Moon, and I guess, yeah, definitely I feel some of that too. You know what I mean? I'm not a Cancer Sun, so it's going to be different for Cancer Sun, Moon, and Rising. Or if, you know, you have your Sun in your 4th house, okay? Because that's also like under some Cancer energy there. I'm going to shuffle these a couple more times. Also, this is the Doreen Virtue Angel Archangel Power Tarot deck, and then I'm going to use the Romance Angels Oracle cards to kind of like give you your love aspect of your reading. You got 7, life path. Yeah, 7 is that life path, right? Wow, wanting to be victorious in relationships, right? Wanting to see things through to the end, right? You feel like when you stay devoted and committed to something, then, you know, it's been worthwhile. The journey is worthwhile when I get somewhere. But really, it's also what you're learning, because those 7s talk about what you're getting out of the experience that you're learning from, right? The one that you're being tested from, or tested in during, right? It's endurance to that 7, and stamina. Absolutely. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and cut these cards and lay them out for you. And then I'm going to put the Romance Angels Oracle cards in the windows. I don't know if I want to do an abbreviated one. I made empanadas, you guys, and they're in there waiting for me, honey. Sorry, I don't mean to get distracted. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and lay. Ooh, okay, that one wanted to pop. Another 7. Another 7 from a completely different deck. The 7 of Wands. You just got it from the other deck. I just put it away. This card popped up. I'm trying to put them all face down. You got to stand up for what you believe in. You know what I mean? Stand your ground. Don't let somebody try to sway you into doing what it is that they feel like, you know, they just want you to settle for. You know what I mean? It's like when people want you to settle for something that really isn't, you know, in line with your passion, your creative passions, or anything that you've done to nurture your experience thus far, then it's almost like you feel like they're trying to take something away from you that you invested in that had nothing to do with them. And then, like, when you give it up, what's going to happen, right? You're going to resent them. That's what that King of Cups in reverse was, too. It's like you don't want to resent somebody, or you probably already started to resent somebody, so you had to do something like actually cut them off, stop the communication, because the 7th house is a house of communication as well. You know, it's communicating one-on-one. So maybe some of you could have cut off some one-on-one communication with somebody. I know that a lot of people have been like going through these experiences where they've had to like block people, or maybe where they've had to just like create some like healthy boundaries, right? You guys are Cancers. I know you like to put up that shell when you need to. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you'd rather not react. You'd rather react on your own, and you put up that shell, and you're going through it on your own, right? But it comes out because you're very expressive. So it's going to come out in work. It's going to come out in what you do when you go maybe work out. It's going to come out with like whatever it is that you do to cope with your emotions. That's how it's going to come out. You know what I mean? Okay, so let me go ahead and cut this. So late, it's so late. Okay, so now I'm going to go from the bottom to the top. Ow. I like how that sounds. Shit, I said I wasn't even gonna do a big spread, but I'm gonna try to get through this. Okay, damn bitch, yeah. Okay. Damn. Okay, so in the other reading, in the cards that fell out before, you got the King of Cups in reverse. In this Archangel Power Tarot deck, you got the King of Ariel, which is somebody whose perspective that you will actually value. This is somebody that you can trust. This is somebody that you can rely on. This is somebody who's going to say what they mean and mean what they say. They're going to do what they say that they mean they're going to do. You know, all of that. This is somebody that's successful. They're very financially secure, stable. This could be you, or this could be a person that you are involved with, or, you know, you want to get to know, or this is probably like the upgrade of the person that you're moving from, right? You're going to this King of Ariel. This is somebody who is like very stable. They're accomplished, right? They have a really great job. They know how to save money. That credit score is probably really good, you know, depending on where you are in the world. This card is talking about, you know, you also making really good practical decisions for yourself, because the King of Ariel is, you know, the kings are all ruled by air, and this is the King of Ariel, which is talking about manifestations, things that actually really do exist, right? And they exist because you made the best choices for yourself. I was talking about the choices that have to be made, you know, earlier when those cards fell out. And this is really just talking about longevity, right? You're looking for longevity as well. And with that other card, I mean, this is, you know, this is earth, and the other one was water. So that water sign, I don't know what that is about that water sign being in reverse. Maybe you just can't deal with the other water sign kind of quality from someone. Maybe someone can make up their mind and they get very emotional because you're challenging them to try to get, you know, to make up their mind about something. But yeah, you know, this King of Ariel is definitely a different energy from that King of Cups in reverse for sure. He's in a higher polarity. So whatever it is that you're going to involve yourself in is going to be a good look for you. And whoever this person is that's coming in, for those of you who understand, who know who this person is, then they're going to be good for you as well. They're going to be showing you just like things to appreciate that are very simple. You know, it's a simplified way of getting to know and relating. It's like this person isn't really going to be wanting to like argue or fight very much. You know, they're going to be there like for you to soak up whatever it is that you need to splash their way or pour their way. Okay, so also at the bottom of the Romance Angels Oracle deck, it says you deserve love. You are lovable. Yes, and that's what you want, right? Cancer really wants to be loved, right? They want to love and be loved in return. Okay, you deserve love. That's what the card says, and it's like if you're determined to be loved, then definitely to love yourself. You know, you deserve love from yourself, right? So it's like if you love yourself, then other people will also realize that you are lovable too, right? Because you know that you are lovable and you love you. When you love yourself, that shit reads. You know what I mean? Across the theater, okay, of life. People can see that shit. And I'm not talking about on Instagram and all that shit, but there too. But it's like really, you know, when you do the work, that's when you love yourself, really. So you're not running away from your emotions, right? You're running away from someone that doesn't know how to deal with their emotions, okay? And you're gonna find somebody who deserves love, you know what I mean, and who deserves to love you, you know what I mean, because sometimes we get involved with people that like really don't deserve to love us. Like it's like they don't deserve us, and they don't deserve to pretend like they love us. You know what I mean? Gross, right? Why are you pretending like you love me when we know that you don't love me? I'm talking, you know what I mean, right? I don't like that. Anyway, let's move on. Ooh, honey, let's flip over the love cards first because that's what I said I was going to do. There's quite a few here. All right, so you deserve love. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So you guys know, like, if it didn't work out with this last person that you're sort of like moving away from, or you're trying to like just get some more space from, then it's like you might be pleasantly surprised because this King of Ariel may very much be the person that you like never really went for. You know what I mean? You're not really swiping left or whichever way it is that you swipe when you say yes to someone's photo. This is probably someone that you would have skimmed over. You know what I mean? You would have skipped over them, or maybe you would have just kind of like not really, you would have made eye contact but then looked away, like that type of thing. But, it's saying that there's something else to be appreciated from this person. Like, it might be what they do for a living, and it's not because of the money that they make, but it's because of the heart that they have when they do what they do. You know what I mean? They could be providing clean water somewhere, or they could be, going off and like working with kids in Africa and like teaching them things about the environment and climate change and shit. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. And you might really appreciate something like that from someone because you never had that before, where you can actually see into someone's spirit and soul and appreciate what's there without them having to prove it to you. Okay? So now, let's move on to the rest of the archangel or the angel romance angels. These are all angels. So many angels up in here. Okay. Make the effort. Damn, this is seamless, honey. You deserve love. Keep an open mind. Make the effort, right? Because it's like almost when you it was like what I was talking about before by trying to letting go of those control issues. Damn, I gotta be open. Yup. You gotta be open with those looks, honey, because they might just, surprise you. I live for a surprise, okay? But yeah, it's saying like if you don't keep an open mind about this, then you won't feel motivated to even make any efforts, right? Because when you don't keep an open mind, you're shutting things off. You're shutting yourself off, right? You're shutting yourself off from a broadened perspective, which that's why Mercury is exalted in Aquarius, right? Because Mercury does always want to try new things and doesn't want to be bored and is interested in like things that are different. And Aquarius is actually interested in being different, but it's almost like they're not interested in anyone else influencing what it is that they are doing. Whereas Mercury is very easily influenced by lots of things. You know what I mean? So definitely. I don't know what's going on in the room. Oh, okay. I don't know what y'all talking about. But yes, it says great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. You know what I mean? So some of you guys like that Ace of Cups came up too with the Emperor and the Magician. It's almost like the Emperor is definitely making the effort, and the Magician definitely has to keep an open mind. Because if the Magician doesn't keep an open mind, then he won't be able to really grasp the concept of what's being divinely inspired, right, and channeled to him and bringing it down. Because then it's not he's closed off to it. Right? He's closed off to it, just like you would be closed off to the inspiration that would be coming to you when you get that nudge, or when you just get that sense that you might be, flirting with somebody. Or it's almost like you won't pick up on the notion that this person is flirting, but you might be thinking like, oh, they seem like a really cute person, but not like date-wise. But then if you realize that they're flirting with you and you flirt back, then you'll start to unlock something. Then you'll start to open up that door where you begin to see other aspects of them that blend with this thing that you were kind of attracted to, but not full on. But now that you know this other stuff, you're real full on with it now. All right. You know what I mean? So make the effort. I need to be listening to this too, because I'm a Cancer moon and I'm not really reading this based on any experience I've been having. Because I had kind of like not, oh, okay, I guess I haven't been making any efforts really. I've been shutting people down. Cutting shit off. Not shutting people down. Anyway, whatever. This is your reading, darling. Now, let me flip over the other. You have about 4 more Romance Angels Oracle cards. I don't know. I was only going to pick like 3. But there's more than that. Okay, engagement, right? Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment, right? It's like when you engage with people, right? Damn, it's so amazing how these cards are correlating. We're not talking like marriage. We're talking about engaging in conversation. If you're out and you see somebody that like seems like they would be a nice person to talk to, if they don't have a mean face or any of that, you've been shutting things down. Yep, yes, we have. We're good at doing that though. Cancers are really good at shutting themselves off from other people, but they're really easy at opening themselves up too. So that's why you got to shut it down sometimes. You know, water signs are like that. You got to close that self off from all of those influences that might just like, really shift your mood and how you see yourself or think about yourself, right? But definitely, once you allow yourself to kind of like really wipe the fog off the glass and see what's on the other side, then you're going to want to actually like turn the knob and walk through. Let some steam out. It's getting hot up in there. Muggy. Mean mugging yourself. Okay? Stop mean mugging yourself, Cancer, okay? What have you done to you? All right, let's look at the rest of the cards. Calling in your soulmate for sure. Your prayers and affirmations and visualizations help bring you together, honey. I definitely have been giving some visualizations. You know, I've been thinking, I don't know, maybe like a Colombian man or some Brazilian, definitely. Hello. Can I get a Nordic up in here? So I don't have a type. Hopefully you don't have a type either, Cancer. Because, your soulmate could come from any part of the world. They don't have to come from your same hometown. Bitch, your soulmate might be from Bali. You have no idea. You are definitely worthy, honey. You're more than worthy, okay? Okay, you're worth the time. You're worth the effort, right? You worth the energy. Yes, something foreign, honey. You better be on my page. Literally. Okay. But for real, it's kind of like, did my music stop? Oh. But for real, it's like, I think about that too. I'm like, damn, my soulmate could be anybody. You know what I mean? Your soulmate could be somebody that you've been passing on the street in the neighborhood that you've lived in for like 5 years and you never knew. Have you ever seen this type of thing where like people will be in the same photograph, but and like then meet some other way in life and then go back to that same place. You know what I mean? It's like they don't realize they're in the same photo that different people were taking. Have you ever seen that type of thing happen? I've seen that happen. It's been on like, the internet and stuff. But it's saying that, when you visualize and you pray and you kind of like manifest in your head, because it all starts up here with the mind. And that's why that magician card came in. Because anytime you call in your soulmate, it's almost like you're having these conversations with the divine and you're letting them know what it is that you are into. And they kind of know what you're into as well, but then they know what they want for you as well. On top of that. So they know what they want for you, but you also have to tell them, like, yes, and can you have this and that? You know what I mean? Because they'll listen to certain things that you want. They may not let this person be a race car driver like you might ask, but they might let them be somebody with blue eyes. I really do like to be alone. I really like to be alone too much. Yeah, cancers do like to do that. You get in your feelings. You know what I mean? We have to. It's like we got to process those feelings and all of that stuff. It's like all of the opposition that you feel as well, because there's always a lot of opposition with Cancer and Libra, because it's like they're the most receptive of the cardinal signs, right? It's different than Capricorn and Aries. The Seven of Gabriel is here in your anxieties position, and I'll really elaborate on that when I see what's in the Moon position, because that correlates with the anxieties position, and being that it's a seven, is related to the Chariot again. You've gotten a lot of seven, so you're trying to see your way to a victory, Cancer. You're trying to see your way to something that's going to be very satisfactory for you. You wanna feel like this was all worth something in the end. You know what I mean? Because if it's not, then you're gonna be triggered, and it's gonna open up old wounds. It's gonna create new wounds, that type of thing. You want things to really work out. You want them to work out, you know, But it's like you're gonna have to definitely have confidence that they can work out and not get too complacent. You gotta get out. You gotta get up. Even if you don't have anywhere to go, just go get out and do something. You know what I mean? Don't be stuck up in the house. Sometimes I might even, I mean, just go out in your neighborhood. You don't have to get in the car. You don't have to get on the train. You know what I mean? Go for a walk. If you have a dog, take the dog out for a walk. Go on a different route that you never really go on. Just go out and walk. You know what I mean? I love that. I love going out and walking, but I have a lot of Sag in my chart. Like a lot of it. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the last two worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life, and this comes in after the calling in your soulmate card popped up, right? Calling in your soulmate, worth waiting for. So it don't matter how much time it take now, okay? If that's what you want, that's what you keep asking for. You know what I mean? Did nobody say that you couldn't go out on any dates while you were calling in your soulmate? I don't know where that came from, but they said, didn't nobody say that you couldn't still go out on dates while you calling your soulmate? Where you been? You're gonna abstain. You're gonna be selling. You're gonna be one on. You're not gonna go out on any dates because you're trying to manifest this person that you haven't even seen yet. Like, come on now. You better get out there and have some fun. At least you don't always have to get, turn into a thoughtress. Okay? I mean, if you want to be thoughtress one night, then you can be. You know what I mean? Just make sure you got the appropriate costuming, you know. Make sure you know all your lines for the thoughtry. Thoughtry. Anyway, yeah, you don't have to be too concerned about whether or not you having fun and enjoying life is going to prevent your soulmate from coming in, because your soulmate might be at the very place that you're going out to have fun and distract yourself from being so focused and obsessed with finding the soulmate. Because it's when you stop looking that it's like, here I am. You know what I mean? You stop looking for me, here I am now. That's when the universe wants to surprise you, because they don't want you to be, you can't be entitled when it comes to, working with your divine, with the angels, right? They can't deal with your entitlement, right? People can barely deal with your entitlement. So, your angels and your guys, they definitely are going to deal with your entitlement for no reason, right? It don't matter how over emotional you get about, like, how hard the experience or the challenge might be with the Seven of Wands being here and the anxieties. It's so hard. Why do I have to? Yep, as soon as I say I'm done, bam, someone new is in your face. Yeah, I know that's right. And then it's not like one person. Pow, 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 pow. They be sending like three, four people in. And then it's like you still is and Jay's still there. You're like, oh yeah, I have like Jay now that I'm single. You know what I mean? It's like there are still those people that are there that are around when you're like not right. See a bunch, right? When you're not dating, like the people that liked you when you were dating, ease back in, right? And then some of them come in and you got and they'll act right. You gotta cut them off. Anyway, this is good. I like the way the flow of this this romance is going in. Okay. For some of you guys, religious factors are playing a role. It says your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Okay, so maybe the person that you are sort of walking away from had different belief systems in terms of family, because religious factors have to do with family as well. Because, I mean, you could be religious, you can be spiritual, whatever. But usually, when you have religious factors, that's because of family-based issues from past, present, and future ones as well. But the future ones haven't been determined; they've just been anticipated because of the struggle of trying to understand how something is going to work, how you're going to relate to this person who has different morals maybe and ethics and different life principles that have been instilled in them. Like, how are they going to understand and how are they going to respect some of the differences that I may see, in terms of like how I relate to my experience and how I relate to them relating to their experience. Because that's really what happens in a relationship, because another person's experience becomes yours. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what you're thinking about too. But you know what I mean? A lot of time, look at Charlotte. She converted. All right, so that's your loving proof there. And that's at 34 minutes and 43 seconds. All right, 3443. So now let's move on to your general messages with the Archangel Power Tarot deck. So, in the present, Four of Gabriel. Oh, right now, you better deserve love. You better keep an open mind and make the effort, right, and engage to call in your soulmate that's been worth waiting for, okay? With this Four of Gabriel being in the center of this reading, honey, you better celebrate 1111. You know, I said 3443, and then an 1111 card came up. All right, now that's special. This four is talking about stability. It's talking about security. It's talking about making a way for security. So this person who's coming in for you in your love placement is actually going to bring more stability in your life in general. You know, because this is fiery energy, things being created, generated, you know, things that are going to bring energy for a lasting period of time until they need to be turned over and new energy needs to be generated. Because the fours are talking about stability. Stability lasts. You know what I mean? The fourth house is Cancer. So it's talking about a home, places that you come from, shelter, wrap your arms around me type energy, that type of thing. Time for a celebration, abundant rewards for hard work. Release yourself from burdensome situations, right? Don't be complacent about what might not, or what you think might not be there, or what you think you may not be able to like ascertain. Because some things aren't meant for you to make happen. Some things are meant for you to let happen. Okay. Oh, wow, you got a 4 on top of a 4. 11, 11, 11, 11. Oh, you sick of the earth sign energy, honey. Well, you got the fire right here, and the challenge is the earth energy. Okay. Some of you guys are dealing with Aries. Like I said before, didn't I say before? I was like, well, you know, Libra and Cancer, they're different from Capricorn and Aries. And right here in the center of your reading, Cancer, you got Aries energy. And then right on top of that, you got Sun in Capricorn. So this is somebody who's a little bit hardened. You know, your challenge is an earth sign that seems like they're a little bit hardened, and their idea of stability is different than your idea of stability. You know what I mean? What is a life? Right? What do I make of a life? Because everybody doesn't live their life the same way. So that means there's a diversified understanding that needs to be appropriated in everybody's thought process that makes us understand that everyone doesn't, you know, everybody might put their pants on the same way, but everybody doesn't wear the same fucking brand of pants. Okay? So this is saying that there are certain things that are going to be slightly different that you might have to compromise on. You know what I mean? It's like you both together compromising isn't making weaknesses. You know what I mean? It's like when a negative and a negative cancel each other out to make a positive, right? If you're compromising and they're compromising, then you're going to gain something positive out of that. You know what I mean? So this Four of Gabriel and this Four of Ariel, this is kind of like putting the wood in the fire to be very critical, right? Because the 8 is talking about criticalness, criticism, criticism in terms of having to control something, right? So it's like two people trying to control each other, but what they really should be doing is checking themselves. Because it's a 4. Aries in the 7th house. Okay, wow, yeah. Okay. Aries in the 7th house. So that means you're Libra rising? Because Aries is my 7th house and I'm Libra rising. You know? Or you could be a Virgo rising. Yep. Yep. See? Alright, I better know something about a chart, about some planets. You guys know I love astronomy as well. You know, in physics, things like that. Okay, so yeah, so it's like these two people, they both have their idea of how they assert themselves in life, and there's meaning behind that, and then you all have your reasons, you know what I mean? And some of the reasons, you know, you might have some things that you do that they feel like are extreme, and they are ways that you feel like are extreme. It's always going to be like that because that's what it's an 8 here. You know, I mean, it's the 4 of Gabriel and the 4 of Ariel, and that's what the 8 is talking about. You know, 4 and 4 is 8. The eighth house is ruled by Scorpio. That's talking about extremes. And Scorpio comes after the seventh house, which is Libra, which is talking about relationships, understanding, partnerships, the ability to like harmonize and make things peaceful. And then when you're attempting to do that, you're doing it because like there's effort that it takes, right? That's why Libra is an assertive sign, seventh house energy, right? The chariot being number 7, that's asserting yourself as well. The reason why it is cardinal is because it is asserting parts of ourselves to make things happen, for us to transform, right? That's why relating is very important, because relating to things helps you transform your experience, which makes you get more out of it, right? Then you can become more spiritual that way, because the sevens are talking about spirit, you know? Anyway, let's continue. So that's what's going on there with the challenge and everything. Let's look at the past for you. The past, the 7 of Michael, you got another 7. So this is talking about in the past, somebody wasn't truthful. You know, somebody was betrayed. Somebody probably betrayed you in a relationship. It could have been a Libra. It could have been another Cancer. Or it could have been, you know, somebody that was born in July that could be on the cusp. Or they could be a Leo. But I'm not getting Leo from this. I'm getting like Libra. I'm getting Cancer. You know, it really is, or it could be an Aquarius as well. Sorry. Um, you know, it's like a little bit of deceit, and trying to control the way someone saw you, or trying to control the way you saw them in a relationship, how you viewed them, your perspective. They didn't want your perspective to evolve based on some of the truths that you were revealing about them. Or maybe this is vice versa too, because we all get in our heads, and we all get in our feelings about things that people reveal about, that they will reveal about us to themselves, by way of, you know, just relating to us, because we're all mirrors. We all have that. I don't want to hear anybody say that they don't fear that somebody will start to realize some aspect of their personality that they don't like that much. You know what I mean? Here we go. So it's saying, you know, in this scenario, somebody might have tried to keep some things away from one of the other persons, or try to manipulate or deceive, or try to be the dominating factor, or the dominating energy in the relationship. You know, how are you relating to this experience of like not knowing the truth, or not knowing all of the truth? And you brought the spiritual beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. Connecting with his ex. I wish it honestly. Yeah, right. Libra, seventh house. And this is Aquarius. You know, and that kind of is like staying connected but from afar. You know what I mean? Because that's what Aquarius is talking about. Like, how do we relate but from afar? Um, and then, you know, being the moon, that's talking about secrets and things hidden. It almost may have led you down a dark path, you know what I mean, because it was like how you were responding or reacting to these truths that were being revealed to you, or truths that weren't revealed to you until later, you know. This says there is a better course of action available to you. Working alone may not be the best answer. Review all the details. So this is saying that there might be like a friend or somebody that can help bring some clarity to the situation for you, and allow you to see things that you probably wouldn't have been able to see, because somebody else was kind of like pulling the strings and in control of how you saw them, or they just didn't leave all of the information on the table, you know, because if you don't say everything, then it's like you're leaving things out, so you don't really have the full view. So then you could get yourself involved in something that you otherwise wouldn't have if you had had more clarity, or the light switch was turned on. Yeah, yeah. 7. And this is Venus. You know, seven is Venus. Seven is Friday. You know, you may have found something out on a Friday. I don't know why I'm saying that. Let me continue. Let's look at your sun position. Ten of Ariel. So the sun is the external, right? It's your will, your creativity, how you assert yourself, self-declaration, that type of thing. Things that you won't let up about you and your experience. These are things that you insist, right? And it's a 10, so you're insisting upon something because you've come to a point of knowing, right, by way of process, mental process, like you've entered the data, you've stored the data, right, you've backed up the data, it is what it is, and you can appreciate it for that. And it's like, great, I'm satisfied with this and what I it's provided me, how it has served me. um you might even be thinking about, your money and how your money might be better right now, or you might be thinking about your money getting better. um, you're thinking about what you can appreciate that actually is going to be you know useful in your life. How are you going to utilize these things that you've been able to accumulate for yourself? And if it's not money that you've accumulated, it's knowledge, which is a tool, right? Because this is Mercury in Virgo. It's talking about understanding something and really making it work best for you. And that's what Virgo teaches us, how to be of service to ourselves, right? And how to be of service to others. Really make the best choices, the best routine choices, because you're going to develop something out of making those routine choices day to day to day to day. It's kind of like savings accounts. Some of you guys are trying to like save more money. You might be opening up a separate savings account, one that you can't touch, that type of thing. You might even be thinking about saving up money so that you can move, right? Because the tens are related to Jupiter. It's talking about taking risks. This might be a financial risk that you might be thinking about taking. I recently went for a supervisor position. Okay, yes, because this is definitely, supervision is very Virgo energy. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that would be really good for you because it would be the ending of the old position you had and the beginning of a new position that you have, and it's by way of your attention to detail and the things that you provide to a work atmosphere. It says there is so very much to be grateful for: financial success and the promise of retirement, a rich and rewarding family life. So you guys might be thinking about that. You might be thinking about life insurance as well. Some of you might be thinking about refinancing some insurance plan that you might have, something like that. It could even be like 401k. You're looking at the details of these things because you want to understand like how it's going to really accumulate into something real later on in life, right? Definitely. So now let's look at that's the external. So really that's like money and things that actually, you can store away, stuff like that, right? You're definitely satisfied with that, but you want to know more details so that you can actually have more of a cushion for those types of things. Because it's like, yeah, I have a savings account, but how much do I have in there? Yeah, I have a 401k, but what are the benefits of my 401k? You know what I mean? It's like all of that stuff. Um, okay, so now let me look at oh wow, another Virgo card. And you got Epiphany, and it's a 9, so it's related to some type of intuitive energy. This is definitely a day-to-day thing. Again, like documents, looking at like what really matters and what really counts. This is also the ability to change things. Yes, more rainy day money. This is also like the ability to allow yourself to evolve practically, on a practical level. You're thinking about things in a real way. You know what I mean? You've been so you've been going through it for so long and trying to accumulate things that you felt like were showing you that you were living your life and that you were adulting or whatnot. And it's kind of like you're looking at, how you can find your way out of this experience satisfied. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, yeah, it is growth. It is spiritual growth as well. Um, and it's how you can apply this spiritual growth and what you've learned from the spiritual growth to your life every day. You know what I mean? It's almost like you're turning a situation upside down in order to make it work for you, actually the best way that it can work for you. So it's being adaptable. It's adapting to these things, being very resourceful, knowing how to change things up to actually get what you want, because it's not how you do it, but it's what you actually get at the end of what you did. So it's like, if you want an outcome, then if you can't use, a clothes hanger, then you're gonna stop trying to use the clothes hanger, right? And then you're just gonna use like a chopstick. I don't know. I'm just thinking of something, anything. You know what I mean? So it's like, you're not trying to force a square in a circle. You're like, oh, I need to like actually like put this down, look for something else that can fit through, that might actually be the square, or something smaller, you know what I mean, that I can get through. And this might be the smaller thing that you get through that actually is really what you wanted in the first place. You know what I mean? Like you're like, whoa, I didn't realize that, like me using an unconventional way of achieving something would actually, bring about the result that I wanted. I never would have thought, because I wasn't open to that. My mind wasn't open to the expansiveness of like, thinking outside of the box. Anyway, it says joy through spiritual growth, be a light to others, answers that come through meditation. Okay, that's what that card says. So now, the epiphany and the spiritual growth, what you're going through in terms of like this Mars and Leo, Seven and Gabriel being down here, and how you're relating to an experience that might be providing you with a multitude of obstacles and adversity. You're facing a lot of adversity, but you really just have to believe that you're going to make it through it. You know what I mean? You're going to make it through the storm. You're going to make it through this wild ride that you might be on, that you may have been on for a while now. You know what I mean? You might be feeling like, when is this actually going to end? When is this going to be over? I'm learning so many things, and I'm discovering so many things about myself that I feel like, geez, what else is there left for me to discover within this experience, or within this specific scenario, right? What's the incentive here? You know what I mean? Um, it's like, what's the takeaway from this after school special? I've been like in this race for so long, dude, and y'all just keep sending people over here to like keep me back. You know what I mean? It's like that. It's like you keep hitting these like red lights. Things do manifest when I least expect it. I don't want to seem ungrateful by questioning, though. Right, exactly. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to, like, you know, just be very mindful in how you talk to spirit, or how you, like, express to your divine source why you might be confused about something. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you don't want to be seeming like you're getting, like, frustrated, or you can be frustrated, but if you're getting like annoyed, that's different. You know what I mean? Being frustrated and then being annoyed is different. So we will be annoyed, we will be frustrated, sometimes we will be mad, but you just have to take a breath. You know what I mean? And keep your focus on what really matters here. You know what I mean? Because there's always a better way when you feel yourself going off the course of what it is that you want to get to. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if you want to get a baby to stop from crying, then you're not going to yell at it to stop crying. You know what I mean? So it's like, we haven't gotten to that point yet because we don't have an 8, but we did get 2 4s crossed right on top of each other. So, the strength card's energy is kind of like echoing here. It's resonating, but it's resonating through 2 energies coming together, because you guys are both showing each other a level of strength that you didn't know you had on different ends. So this other person might even be thinking about like their own strength and their own weaknesses, right? And how you may have challenged them, because you both got 4s, to take a look at this, right? Anyway, and you're taking a look at yours, right? You have strengths and you have weaknesses as well. It's resignation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Oh, you say it's resonating. Sorry. That's what you meant, not resignation. It was a typo. See, I know that. See, some people be like, what? What? Yes, absolutely. Right. Okay, we're moving right along. This is going to be the last one I do for tonight. I've already done the weeklies. Okay. Also, when I have the mugwort, it makes me like, woo. Let's see. There's so many colors on this table. I don't know which cards are flipped over and which ones are not. Okay, we're a little bit more than halfway through. So, yeah, this Seven of Gabriel is, related to the Chariot, which is talking about reflection, reflecting on relating, reflecting and relating, right? For sure, because the seven is talking about how you reflect on the experience, and where you're reflecting on the experience, you're relating to it, right? In a deeper way, right? Because you might be going back and being like, wait a minute, this was supposed to teach me this, you know? Okay, let me look at your Mars on that note. Ooh, your Mars has the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Ariel. So this is a seed to be planted that's going to bring about new opportunities, right? You're on the other side of the ending now, because in the Sun position here, the external you're completing something that is of realness. That's a value, right? You're understanding what it is that is going to get you to this place of value in your life. And then down here at the Mars position, you are on the other side of that. You come from the 10 of Ariel to the Ace of Ariel, right? So you have blended, the risk and the faith and the hope and the belief that something really can exist within your reality, and you have brought attention to that, and you've married those things together, and that 10 has now become the ace, the one again, all over again, right? Because it was there, it was hinting at something, but then all it took was you understanding that, like with your great mind and believing that it was actually something, it became morphed again into the one. So it says it's your lucky day, new resources of money, time, or support, a change in job or promotion. This is a shift. The Ace of Pentacles is kind of like, it definitely is money is energy, and this is an energetic shift. You know what I mean? Definitely. So it's gonna bring about some change for you, and you're going to start to see things, grow, accumulate. It's definitely bringing awareness. It's like the light switch is being turned on, or you picked up something off the ground and you turned it over, and there it was, looking shiny and beautiful on the other side, right? So that's great. I love that. Also, we are looking at in your Venus position. We're almost done too. Yes, 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 yes. Mars in the 10. Oh, speaking of Mars in the 10, in your Venus position, some of you guys might be actually getting engaged. So if you're in a relationship with someone and you're just kind of like watching this reading because you like watching readings and you've been watching readings, but you're in a relationship, because you got the Four of Gabriel here, which is Venus and Aries. Then you got the Emperor in your Venus placement. So you might be finding security within someone, right? Or you might be feeling very secure with someone. Um, and you might be feeling very interested in them, and you want to get involved quickly, some of you. Or some of you might be thinking that, like, you're not, someone might actually pop the question on some of you who are in a relationship, you know? That's what this Ten of Pentacles could be in the Sun position, you know what I mean? Because it's the awareness of something that has been fully substantiated. And then Mars, in the Mars position with the Ace of Pentacles being there, that's like, here's a gift, initiating something. And it says worth waiting for right next to it. And then it says the Emperor. It's like calling in your soulmate, Ace of Pentacles, worth waiting for, the Emperor, you know. But then that might be what brings up the religious factors, is the initial proposal. And the proposal may not be like just getting married. It might be like a proposal like, let's date, let's be together. Or be exclusive, that type of thing. Mm. Somebody might want to be exclusive a little too soon for you. And that's why this worth waiting for came up, because you might be like, wait a minute, there's something else worth waiting for me. You know, I'm not really trying to be like jumping on board with you like this. We really just started dating and I like you, but I'm also dating other people because the tarot reader Kendrick told me that, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, this person might be coming on strong, but you know, just let them know. Let them know. Okay? You don't have to say thank you next, but you can say thank you next week. No, don't jump into anything, child, because people will have their own expectations about what you are jumping into it for. You know, because that reads differently. You know, when you don't tell people things directly, then you're leaving things up to interpretation. Okay, so then they start to believe whatever they want to believe about what it is that you didn't tell them, that you weren't clear about. Okay, so don't let people start making up shit and believing shit that isn't true about you. Let them know what is. Okay. So now we can look at your future card placements. And I can eat my empanadas. Okay. Okay, so in the past, definitely some deceit, some lies, some betrayal, some misunderstandings, just kind of like being unclear about why you guys are trying to do this or why you were trying to do it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you definitely were thinking that there might have been something better. There was a better way. You didn't even care if it was. You know, if you were leaving a relationship and going to be single, then at least that would be you. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be attached to something that you didn't want to be attached to anymore. You know, you guys would had different ways of doing things, you know, and you were very set in your ways. You know, I feel like some of you guys were very set in your ways and your partner was very set in their ways. So, you know, that's something that kind of like sparked a lot of grievances and dysphoric energy. Anyway, let's look at the future of that strength work. So you got the strength card. That's wonderful. You got the Emperor and you got the strength card. That's Leo and Aries energy. So it's talking about your will. It's talking about a positive ego experience. Um, it's talking about, you know, passions of the heart, matters of the heart, and also like passions of the will and the mind, right? Who you know you are and what you do based off of who you know you are, which has been divinely, you know, inspired, or has it divinely inspired you? You know, that type of thing. The four is also talking about security within a relationship with a person that is very fiery. You know, the Emperor being in the Venus placement. Somebody's going to take charge within a relationship. You actually might even like this. You know, for some of you. For some of you who aren't like, whoa, this is too soon. Some of you might be like, yes, bitch. I was hoping you would say so. Honestly, feels like the universe is teaching me an experience about love. For sure, because it's all about love, right? If it wasn't all about love, then we wouldn't be here because someone loved us enough to just put us here and let us have this experience. Whoever that person is, I'm not trying to feed you anything. Okay, so let's look at what your outcome energy moving forward. The lovers, bitch, you better motherfucking work up in here. Okay? You better work, Cancer. All right now. Mm. I'll go through all these cards before we get out of here, but this is a good reading for you, Cancer. I'm living. You got the lovers as your outcome energy moving forward. So this is talking about, you know, creating more harmony in your life. You know, compromise in order to comprehend. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like this is going to be in your routine life. This is going to be in your day to day. Your day to day life is going to adapt to a change that is going to take place, and it has to do with maybe an Aries. It has to do with another Cancerian person or a person that has their sun in their fourth house. It could be a different sign, but it's a sun in a fourth house position, or it might be someone with, you know, a Venus in a fourth house placement, which is almost like Venus in Cancer. Or somebody might have Mars in it, whatever. I'm not even going to go into all that, but it really is, you know, there's some Gemini energy here, and there's some Aries energy here. Leo for sure, Virgo. And like I said before, Aquarius and Leo for sure. Definitely. But Aries, yeah. The lovers, making choices from your heart, having committed relationships with people and being able to exercise through routine efforts and a routine level of understanding that everyone needs love, right? Because you just talked about love and how it really is what matters and what counts. Because that's when you're able to open yourself up, right? You're not shut down, right? When we don't feel love, we shut down. But when we're loved, we open up. So then now things are moving. Channels are open up. It's like that Mars in Pisces card, the Ten of Cups, right? From like what tarot deck is that? This is Doreen Virtue right here, but we're Kim Kranz, a wild unknown. The Ten of Cups is like 5 cups on one side and 5 cups on the other side, and it's giving all that energy, choo 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 choo. So everybody's sort of like compromising and you know really giving their best selves to each other to uplift each other. So this is you being uplifted by someone and you being able to uplift them as well. You know what I mean? And practicing that dutifully. Okay? That's what that means. Okay, I'm living for that. That's Gemini energy too. So it's playful. It's you know, you might run into it a little bit naive at first, but then it becomes more playful than naive because you realize you can trust this person. You know what I mean? Because you realize that you do deserve love. You just have to keep that open mind and make the effort to engage, right, in conversation so that you can do those things. Because you can be like, I want my soulmate all day and never go out anywhere to have that initial turnover, that initial like encounter happen because you have to be there for it to happen. Okay? If you're not there for that shit to happen, it ain't gonna happen. So you get up and get out and let it happen. Okay? Jeez. You can ask for it all day long. But if you ain't trying to do nothing to go see if it's there, you ain't gonna find it. That's why those sevens came up. Look, you better go this way to find it, child. Stand your ground. You better find it. Calling your soulmate. You know what I mean? Definitely. Call him in. Her in. Your Gemini moon and rising. Ooh, honey. I dated a Gemini moon and this person broke up with me so many times and then they always come back. It's very fickle with the Gemini moon. I think my mom is a Gemini moon. Very detached emotionally. Hey girl, hey. Yes, child. Gemini moon. Ooh. But he also was a Pisces. So it was Pisces and Gemini. So there was some hard. Those two don't really mesh well. I love Geminis though. I'm double Libra. So you know how people are with Libras. I'm double that. Okay? Sun and rising. And my moon is Cancer. So I'm just way too receptive sometimes. A lady told me I was way too receptive, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be deceptive, but I'm definitely not going to be, soft and open up my door to everybody anymore. Because I've seen what people do when you let them in their house when you got white furniture. They jump all over the furniture in their muddy ass shoes and get shit dirty. And then leave you to call the cleaning company to clean that shit up. Okay, so let's look at what's coming towards you, right? What the energy is that you haven't seen yet. That's at the top. That's the ascendant position. Ooh, what's rising, honey? I'm trying to wait. Oh, okay. Oh, yes. There we go. I was assuming that this was Libra for me, and I was going up here, but really I want to go down there. Anyway, I'm digressing. Let's look at what this card is. Oh, I was hoping it wasn't gonna be something like this. It's the Five of Cups. It's the Five of Raphael. So it's saying that everything happens for a reason, and you need to understand what spiritually, God and the divine, and what order is being led here, right? For you to learn something about love and about your heart and about what you are meant to understand about life and how real life can get. And it doesn't matter how real life gets, just understand that you're actually still alive. So when these things happen, when these, really pivotal shifts happen in life, they make you feel alive, and they better fucking make you feel alive, because then you can do something about living. You know what I mean? So this is saying everything happens for a reason. Release the regret and embrace the opportunities for happiness that come after you release something, you let go of your fears, let go of your resentment. You know what I mean? Don't allow yourself to believe that you are not enough on your own. You know what I mean? You are something with somebody, right? But you are definitely something on your own too, which is why the other person wanted you to be something with them. Why? Because they saw something in you that made them feel like, they wanted to learn something from you, or they wanted to be influenced by you. They wanted to have an energetic exchange with you. You know what I mean? So really, when something ends, it's like, there's a transformation that you need to think about, because Pluto is retrograde and so is Saturn. You know what I mean? I have both of those planets conjunct in my first house. So I'm fine with that energy right now. Thank God. I'm knock on wood, I am. But the Five of Raphael is really just a very hard situation that you're having to deal with, and you might be feeling like you were dealing with it on your own. You know what I mean? And you might be asking why, and really just asking why just makes it more painful. You know what I mean? Don't ask why. Know that it is, okay? Because that's what a five also talks about, because it's like your will is what it is, right? You will be what you are. I can't do anything about being black. You know what I mean? So if I'm sad about it, then I need to just get over it. And that's when, you know what I mean? Like, so, whatever it is that broke your heart, because this is a heartbroken card. It's your need to control something, though. That's, you know what I mean? Like, we get heartbroken because we weren't able to stop something from happening that felt harmful to our spirit, and to something that we have been like attached to and devoted to. Because this is a card of devotion that has gotten broken, right? This is devotion that has been spilt, right? And it doesn't have to do with cheating. It could be because Scorpio rules sexuality and the genitalia. You know what I mean? This is accidents happening, within a commitment and an institution. So this could be something that, has affected you, and you're having to see past it. This doesn't necessarily mean that it's something that will happen. This could be something that has happened, because Scorpio has, to do with the past as well. And past hurt, past scars, resentment, pain, wounds, that type of thing, right? The fifth house is Leo. Your pride might be damaged. Yeah, like your heart is too, heartbroken emotionally. You might be feeling a little bit emotionally calloused, or maybe there's some raw emotion here that you just need to express and you just need to get out. Coming out of the dark. Yeah. Coming out of the dark. I think I heard that song today. I went and got some fast food fries today, and I gave the girl a reading, because every time I go in there to get some fries, she's always like, "Are you gonna tell me my future?" Hey girl, her name is Good News. That is literally what is on her name tag. I was like, yes, that's feels. I love going in there and being like, "Good news, honey." So crazy, right? This is your reading. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Providence Tarot. I'm also on Facebook, Providence Tarot, NYC Kendrick, Kendrick NYC, and the Tongue Pop. Please email me at providencetarotKendrick@gmail.com if you'd like to receive a reading. I will be doing love readings, 20-minute love readings for $30 this month. Let me know if you would like one. It's a little bit more than the $20 special or the 20-minute specials usually are, because it's love, and there's also going to be some general in there. So if you want one, email providencetarotKendrick@gmail.com. okay? Or a general reading as well. Okay, and I'll give you those prices. I'll leave the information in the description box. If you do decide to pay for a reading, make sure that you reach out to me. I'll be notified with that. Reach out to me though, and then I will reach out. I'll get back to you as soon as I see that I've been notified. So I might reach out to you before you even get to tell me that you sent me the money. But this was a very juicy reading. I was not expecting it to go this far or this long, but it was a double reading. So that makes sense. I get to go and eat my empanadas now, and I love you, Cancer. Come to Shanti Bookshop on Sundays. I'm there from 12 to 5, sometimes 6 or more, giving readings there. It's a really great, fun group of people. So come out and see us. Okay. Thank you, loves. Cancer, you are done for May. Done for May. All right, loves. I love you guys. Bye. Oh, thank you.